forecast. Here's KATC Chief Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, I did want to start on this graphic. It was a short commercial break, so I was not prepared to be ready to go. 91 the high today, by the way. Let's get into the satellite imagery. Got a lot to talk about here. Got this ridge of high pressure over by Mexico. Dry air continues to pour down all the way down to Mexico now, and that's a good thing because this system is going to have to battle that dry air on the western flank. On the eastern flank, though, that deep tropical moisture in this upper level low is going to help start drawing this low pressure off to the north. This high pressure is going to retreat just a little bit. Another ridge of high pressure is going to come into the north, and that's why this is going to move northward and then maybe make a slight northwestward turn down the road. But we still don't know what we're up against with respect to what kind of system we're going to see emerge in the Gulf of Mexico. If it's organized at this time tomorrow night as it's exiting the water, that won't be a good sign. Hopefully it'll be disorganized, but storms have been flaring up big time across Mexico. Very heavy rainfall on the order of 10 to 15 inches of rain just during the course of this satellite loop from Mexico down through Belize as well, and some of those heavy rains also poking into Guatemala as well. The center of our tropical depression just to the west of that deep convection, it started to turn a little bit more easterly, and we thought it was going to make kind of this loop down here over land. Question is, how long is it going to go over land? If it stays over land longer, the better. If it makes a quick turn and gets over water sooner, and that's going to probably happen tomorrow night, then we'll have to certainly keep an eye on it. But all of our dynamical and all the computer models that we look at indicate it's going to strengthen back up, and it's going to be kind of like, I think, a hybrid tropical storm type system with the dry air on the west, the very wet air on the east, and probably most of the wind, most of the waves, and most of the heavy rainfall across the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico. But no major changes to the track overall, kind of a little subtle change here and there. 60-mile-an-hour winds. The forecast track just a little bit east of where it was at the 4 o'clock bulletin, but nonetheless, you're in the cone. Expect whatever weather that is going on to be in the cone for sure, and then well east of the cone on this particular system where some heavy rains will go all the way over to Florida. And the bottom line, we got to prepare for a tropical storm as we go into late Sunday and most of the day Monday as well. So we showed you the European model. Let's give the GFS model some love. The forecast track shifting a little bit to the east because the latest Euro is initiating a little bit to the east as well. Now the GFS model, again, one model forecast. It's not an official forecast. Has this system farther to the east. That would certainly be a much better solution for Acadiana, but the threat of very heavy rainfall, some portions of Acadiana, but this would be good for us. But it's just one model run, and things are going to change back and forth over the next couple of days. We'll still deal with tropical moisture as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday as well, and then maybe by Thursday things begin to dry out. Now here's the GFS model run on the rainfall, and not as much as we are projecting, at least at this point, but you can see there are going to be areas that picking up. You get into that yellow, that's close to 8 inches, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain. And then if I pull a map over here, you can see that heavy rainfall all the way over through the Florida Panhandle, that area pink right there, corresponding to 10 inches or more. So we're going to have to watch this system very closely. So what can we expect here in Acadiana? And this is going to change. Look at the fine print. It's going to change depending, and all these impacts could change big time. We're still concerned with storm surge, 2 to 3 feet perhaps Sunday, 3 to 6 when we get those southerly winds. That's a lot down on the coast. We'll say 2 to 6 inches of rain, but a ton more, especially in persistent rain bands, mainly to the east based on the data right now. 25 to 40-mile-an-hour winds with gusts to 50 to 60 and whatever squalls we see, and there'll be a tornado factor as well. We'll just have to deal with it during that time when we get there. But in the near term, it's a quiet pattern, lower 90s next couple of days, and then a tropical storm conditions likely for a good part of Acadiana Sunday into Monday. Will it be much of a tropical storm or a real big wallop? We yet can tell. Can't tell that quite yet, but we will in the days ahead. That's it for weather for right now. We'll be right back right after this.